Hello, friends. Hello. What's happening? Hope your day is treating you well, or I hope you had a great day. Welcome back. The Jacksonville Jaguars are off to a pretty bad start. It's not a very good football team. Let's add context to it. They are 0-3, haven't won a game, and just from what I saw last night, I can easily say this is the worst team in the league, and it isn't even a debate. To actually see them win a game, I just can't bring myself to trust that they can even win a game. I don't think 0-17 is out of the question for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're on pace to do that. I mean, you can't hide the fact that this team just stinks. They stink like hell. This team is so freaking weak, no heart, no toughness. I'm sure fans in Jacksonville know this unless they are just in denial and don't want to accept the fact that their team can't even beat up on bum ass teams. Just look at their faces last night on the sideline. And Buffalo's not a bum ass team, you know. But for Jacksonville, 3 straight games playing like absolute garbage, at least make it look like you care. It's one thing if your team loses, it's another thing if they don't even care. They're clearly not trying. Only 3 games and they look like they've just given in. You got a team that is just defeated, that just makes it really hard being a Jacksonville fan. No spark, no fire. I think apathy is the proper word to use when talking about the Jaguars. Every player on this team showed zero heart and didn't play hard. To me, this is what you should want to show up with your best attitude and effort. And that has not been the case for this team. If you're not willing to give solid effort, why even show up at all? The purpose of game day is to go out there with this mindset that you can avoid falling 0-3 and finally win a football game. It's either stay afloat now or prepare for disaster. Jacksonville can't allow losses to pile up against this upcoming slate, or the 2024 season could be in serious jeopardy. You can say very early, it already is. Here we are in week 3 having this conversation about how bad the Jaguars are. I just don't understand the mentality of this team. The thing is, number one, the roster has talent. It just never translates on the field, and the team looks as if they didn't practice or even watch any film. I don't think this team can just turn back time. This is what you don't want to see from a team that went to the playoffs just 2 years ago. Like, from the Jaguars' perspective, give me a team that is well equipped and prepared to take on anybody on any given Sunday. We all saw Jacksonville get waxed in primetime on national TV. We watched them humiliate themselves on Monday Night Football. This is the most humiliating thing that can happen. Win some damn games. Folks in Jacksonville by now just want to see them actually beat a damn team for once. I can't be confident in this team. Reality is the team has gotten progressively worse since 2022. After an 8-3 start to the season, the Jaguars completely fell apart. They went on to finish the year 1-5, missed the playoffs after holding the AFC South lead for most of 2023. It was a dramatic downfall that was hard to describe. All year long, they had control of the division, controlled their own destiny before the sky came falling. The Jaguars had a huge lead. The Texans nipping at their heels, the Texans nipping at their heels, and the upstart Texans with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach sneaks up, catches them, and finally takes the division from Jacksonville. They had ran away with it. From 8-3 to gift wrapping the division to having it unwrapped by a young Texans team. The utter disbelief realizing they missed the playoffs. You could say they were shell-shocked. There was sadness and confusion and many unanswered questions about what went wrong. I mean, what an atrocity. So yeah, folks are scarred from that. From that point in 2024, they've seen a downturn in offensive output. This year, they've been awful. They've been god-awful. It's awful. The Jaguars' offense has become predictable. The least creative offense in the league. Everything the Jags do is horrendous. I mean, there's literally not a single positive with this crappy team. The same jibber jabber every week. Coaching is horrendous. The O-line is terrible. Defense is atrocious. Not once this year have they gone out on offense on the opening drive and looked good. Every single pass looks difficult. And even if they make a play, it looks like they barely make it. Like, nothing comes easy. The Jaguars playbook has like 3 plays in it. No one has developed. Everybody has regressed. Now they're 0-3, and this follows a 2023 season in which they lost 5 of their final 6 games to miss the playoffs. Doug Peterson is now 18-19 as the Jags head coach. The offensive line still sucks, and they rolled it back. People in the secondary are dropping like flies, and they are still trying to play man coverage, which I don't understand. I don't understand why they are still going man coverage. Why? Like, just why? Can somebody please tell me? Playing man-to-man coverage on every single snap is just asking the offense to take deep shots all night long. They have 0 pass rush. Nobody can get within a mile of the opposing quarterback. The secondary is a train wreck. The Jags corners are going to get cooked the rest of the year. Dropped passes by receivers are noticeable. They are disjointed as an offense, both situationally and in terms of plays building to something. You put up 5 vertical routes on the field with a terrible O-line and expect Trevor Lawrence to make something happen. It's not going to happen. This offense has none of that creativity you see from Buffalo. The quarterback that got paid can't even look at a defense, can't even look a defense in the eye without throwing in double coverage. I will have, I will have to see more from this team. At this point, I would need to see this team show up on defense, get more creative offensively. I need to see this group, once they put real effort on the field, let's say they do, and win at least one game, just one game, then to me, I can just say, well, they won a game. They won't go winless. Even if they do win, I still don't have full total belief where there's not any roadblocks. There is still going to be that mental roadblock saying, yeah, but okay, you won a game. It doesn't change your identity or the trajectory of the season. All it tells me is that you won't go 0-17 when by the time it's all said and done, it's going to feel like you went 0-17. You're the worst situational football team in the league. So in that case, it would still be, yeah, well, they're not a very good team. The quarterback is a bust, and the coach might not survive after this season. And then what do you think is going to happen next year? You don't pay your quarterback over $300 million or over $200 million to miss the playoffs. The expectations are very high when you pay your quarterback like he's the franchise. It's Super Bowl when you invest that much money in a quarterback. It's Super Bowl or nothing. And right now, you have a quarterback that has to be accountable for not meeting those expectations. They're paying you like a superstar and an elite quarterback. Keep telling yourself that Trevor Lawrence is everything you want in a quarterback. He isn't. He's not. I'm sorry. I'm ready to call Trevor Lawrence a bust, and I think it's crazy that people are still hoping and wishing at this point. Not much else to say when he's been in the NFL for 4 seasons and has yet reached his generational status. We've been patient, and now I think it's the appropriate time to start a dialogue on potential bust status. Absolutely hilarious that Lawrence continues to get a pass from people. No excuse for a guy that has had good weapons around him. 3 years into the league, 4 years into the Trevor Lawrence era. He's not this franchise stud quarterback. I'm sorry, he's not. 8 straight losses for the quarterback. It's okay to have this conversation about Trevor Lawrence. If he was a star, he would have shown us that by now. We're still waiting for him to grow into this franchise quarterback that he was supposed to be when he arrived to Jacksonville. The energy everybody wastes criticizing Brock Purdy or Justin Fields should be directed at Trevor Lawrence. At best, he's likely to be a mid-tier NFL starter. Nothing more. Nothing more. This guy was supposed to be the best prospect we've ever seen. That's what people were saying. We talked about him, hyped him up as if he was this cannot miss prospect. The clock is ticking. I will tell you this. The clock is ticking for Trevor Lawrence to prove he's the guy he was coming out of college. Right now, he's trending bust. He was playing so bad on Monday night that it reminded the rest of the league that you have nothing to worry about when he's on the field, because there's that one moment, and you know it's going to happen. There's that one moment where he's going to throw an interception. Great moment for Damar Hamlin, by the way. Gets his first career interception, and it happened on Monday night. But I think it's time to acknowledge that Trevor Lawrence consistently shows he cannot play football. Some of the Jags games are comical and should come as no surprise that the Jaguars can't protect Trevor Lawrence when they couldn't protect him last season. He's not getting any protection or help from his receivers. So, yeah, I guess you can say it's not all on him. I don't know how you can show your face back in Jacksonville, though, if you're Trevor Lawrence. By far, he's the worst quarterback with the most unwanted job security. And I'm afraid Doug Peterson could be axed after this season. The players have quit on this staff. The product on the field is an indication of that. This team, if we're keeping it real, is worse than the Urban Meyer era. I really didn't think that could be possible, but it is. More talent, terrible production. The Jaguars really do consistently look like the most unprepared team in the NFL each week. The defense has taken a step back, and Lawrence is still too inconsistent. The 2024 season might be over before it gets to week 4. We have to find another adjective to describe sunshine. That's what people call Trevor, because generational, that word has been used too loosely. This is a bottom 5 NFL team. They have zero excuses to be this inept. This was a failure at every level. It was an embarrassment. There are no words to describe how bad this was. This is a game that should cause change. There was no urgency, a lack of heart, no energy. The effort wasn't there. Second year in a row, the defense has been embarrassed on Monday Night Football. Last year, it was Jake Browning. This year, it's Josh Allen. Who's the next quarterback? Boy, it was bad. That game probably made Jacksonville fans' eyes bleed. It's a coaching problem. And I'm looking at the GM as well. I can't come away from the first 3 games of the season and be like, they did actually address the problems. There are still a lot of problems, and many of them are the same problems that come back to hunt them. Jacksonville's in a bad place right now. They really are. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. Talk to you guys very soon. Thanks for watching all my videos and keeping up with the content. We'll talk very soon. Have a good night, everyone.